Okay. To start with Oozie, Oozie is nothing but a job scheduler. So whatever jobs that are running in a batch mode in case of Hadoop will be scheduled using Oozie application or can also use other applications, similar applications. Apache is a job scheduler. And second thing, Oozie is mostly not taught as part of developer courses. It is taught as part of administrator courses, and it is mostly used by administrator to schedule the jobs. Once you have developed your Hive application, Pig application, and so on, Scoop application, Flume application, and so on, to schedule those jobs, it is done using Oozie and it is done usually by administrator. However, in most of the organization, the administrator will set up and give you for verification, and then you have to sign off. So in that case, you should also know the Oozie. So it is always better to know Oozie because most of the places administrator will be doing everything. And in fact, in other places also, you will be doing sometime, you will be scheduling the job, at least developing the XMLs or at least for verification purpose. So I have worked at two or three places till now, but at two places I have seen that I still need to know the knowledge of Oozie, at least a bit, at least to verify, at least to know how it is scheduled, what they have written. If not the exact scheduling part, but at least how to verify it, whether they have done it correctly or not. So it is good to know for developers also. You may need it in your job scope. Okay. So as we saw that Oozie is used to schedule the jobs, it is used to run the job at a given schedule. It supports scheduling of Hive, Pig, Scoop, Java programs, MapReduce programs in Java, Python, etc. Shell scripts, and even the latest versions also supports the Spark one. Spark programs. Spark will be studying in the next module, in the third module. To support this, they use following things: workflow, coordinator, bundle, and a property file. So these are the four things that you will be studying in today's class. What is workflow, what is coordinator, what is bundle, and what is property file, and how they are used. If you have any experience on working on any of the job schedulers, maybe a cron's a job scheduler in Unix, so it will be of advantage. So what is Apache Oozie? Apache Oozie is used to run and manage the job in Hadoop distributed environment. Hadoop is a distributed environment because multiple systems are distributed. So it is used to run and manage the job in Hadoop distributed environment. You can schedule the multiple jobs back to back so that one job get completed, the second will start, and so on. You can also schedule a parallel jobs. If there is no dependency between two jobs, you can schedule those in parallel. It is very tightly integrated with Hadoop. Tightly integrated with Hadoop, and it supports Pig, Hive, Scoop, Java, Shell, and so on. It is open source. It is an open source Java application, freely available. Previously, some time back, you had to install it separately, but nowadays it comes pre-installed with Cloudera as well as Hortonworks. It leverages on existing Hadoop mechanism for load balancing, failover, etc. So you are using it to run and manage the job in Hadoop distributed environment. You can schedule multiple jobs back to back. You can run in parallel. It is tightly integrated with Hadoop. It is open source Java application. It leverage on an existing Hadoop mechanism for load balancing, failover, and other things. It also provides something called as a callback URL. It provides a callback URL. So what this callback URL does is once you have run this job and if it is successful, it will go and hit that particular URL. And if it is failed, it will hit the other URLs to indicate that the job is successful or failed. Also, it provides polling mechanism. If it fails to hit back a callback URL, then what a scheduler can do is it can poll for the task completion, whether the task is completed or not. So it supports the polling mechanism. There are three types of, so these are the things that are provided in Oozie. The jobs are usually scheduled using three types. There are three types that are supported for a job scheduling. The job can either be scheduled using a XML, workflow.xml file. It can be scheduled only using workflow.xml. It can be used with coordinator job, and it can also be used using a Oozie bundle. Workflow.xml, it is to represent the jobs in DAG fashion. DAG will stand for directed acyclic graph. So it represents the job in a DAG fashion, directed acyclic graph. That is, it will be something like start, then it will go into map reduce, then maybe it will finally go into end and so on, something like this. So this is called as a directed acyclic graph. Acyclic meaning it will not be in a cyclic way. It will not form an infinite loop. So it will be a cyclic way. It is represented in a DAG fashion. So whatever are the action, like you want to run a map reduce over here, you want to run a hive after that, you want to run pig after that, you want to run scoop after that, flume after that, and so on. You will be making something like a graph, or your administrator will be making some graph, something like that. And finally, after making the graph, he will be sharing with you the XML code. So what administrator does is administrators make a graph, something like this. And once they make a graph, the system internally makes a XML code, and usually they will share the XML code with you to verify whether it is correct or not. Second thing is coordinator jobs. If you want the things to be triggered by a time driven, that is, a job should start in the morning 5 a.m. and it should run every 1 hour, or a job should be running at every day at 10 a.m., or maybe the job should run whenever this particular file is available, like data availability or event based, some event happens and so on. So if you want to make a job that is triggered by a particular time, or when the data is available, or when the particular event takes place, then in that case you will be using a coordinators. And finally, a bundle. Bundle is nothing but if you want to have a multiple jobs or multiple coordinators, you have multiple jobs scheduled as a coordinator or a workflow. So you will put all this job as a part of a Oozie bundle. Like if you are working for a banking application in a bank, so you can have a various things over there. One can be maybe a savings account will be a different system, loans will be a different system, credit card will be a different system, and so on. So each of this application will have its own coordinator jobs, and all the, let's say, all the cards will have one bundle. All the cards applications jobs will be under one bundle. There will be one more bundle wherein all the saving accounts related job will be in same bundle, and some bundle will be of loan, and so on. One bundle will be of treasury, and so on. So you can have a different bundles wherein the coordinator jobs will be going into each of the bundle. Like I will put all the cards coordinator job and workflow jobs in a one bundle. I'll put these jobs in another bundle. I'll put loan jobs in another bundle, and so on. So bundle consists of multiple coordinators and workflow. Any doubts, anyone until now? Anyone, any doubts? You can stop me and ask. Okay, if no doubts, I will just show how a sample workflow can look like. A sample workflow always starts with a start, just a sample workflow, how a diagram will look like when it is designed by an administrator. Let's say I want to run some scoop job over here to get some data from some other server. Once I get a scoop job, I want maybe two jobs to run in parallel. Maybe these two jobs are doing nothing but running a shell script to maybe create a file or do something. So I want these two shell scripts to run in parallel to save the time. So this is called as a fork. Once it comes to a fork, it will be running in parallel. You can have multiple jobs. In fact, after fork, you will always have something called as a join. So once all of these jobs are completed, it will come to join. It will wait till joins till both of this job is completed. If one job is completed, it still needs to wait till second job is completed. Then it will come into join. Then it can go into, let's say, decision making. Maybe on basis of some decision, it will check some decision, and if the this criteria is satisfied, so it may run a, let's say, shell script, again a shell job. Or maybe this condition is satisfied, that is file is available, let's say something, or some condition is satisfied, so it can run a pick job, and it can run a hive job after that, and finally it can end. Similarly here also it can run a shell script, and it can also end over here. So this is how a typical workflow XML looks like, wherein it starts with start. You can have anything over here. I have just given an example to show scoop, shell. You can have anything. You can have a pick job over here. You can have a hive over here. You can have a map reduce over here. Fork is for parallel processing, and after the parallel processing, you always need to have a join. And you can have a decision making. You can have multiple options also. You can also have multiple decisions. And finally in this decision I am doing a shell job, this I am doing a ping and hive job, and finally end of the job. So this is how the typical workflow looks like. This is how, for administrator, it is not difficult, it is very simple, they just have to drag and drop. But if you are doing a coding in workflow.xml, you should know basics of XML at least. So this is a workflow, how it looks to administrator. Anyone, any doubts until now? Anyone, any doubts? Okay. If no doubts,
No, I think
okay. Then no doubts we'll go into what we'll be learning today. We'll be learning how to code workflow.xml. As I said, it is a normal DAG, directed acyclic graphs, wherein we'll be writing a XML code. We'll be not using the graphical application. Graphical application is for administrator. I will show you where they use, but it is only for administrator. For us, for a developer point of view, you should be knowing the XML part. Then we'll be studying coordinators. We'll see how the coordinators are written. Coordinators, as I said, that it is used for time based. So I will show you how we'll be writing time based. We'll be specifying the time, what is the start time, what is the end time, and so on. We'll also see how it is event based. And finally, bundle. Bundle will not be seeing much because bundle is only done by administrator. So it will be done by administrators using the graphical interface, the Java interface using the web page. So we'll be studying workflow.xml coordinators and bundles. Apart from workflow.xml coordinators and bundles, there is one more important file that we'll be studying is called as a property file. The second last thing that we'll be studying is called as a property file. Property file will do nothing but it will specify the value of variables. Let's say there are some variables that are coded in workflow.xml, and what you will do is you will specify the value for the variables in a property files. So how it helps you out is, let's say you are having a 10 pick jobs. Let's say you are having an example. Let's say you are having 10 pick jobs that are simple 10 pick jobs that needs to be run at some particular time. That's it. So let's say then there are 10 pick jobs. Now there is what they do is there is no need to make a 10 workflow XML. What they will do is they will only make a one workflow XML. You can also make 10 workflow XML, no harm in that. But to save the work, to maintain the consistency, to maintain the reduce, make sure of redundancy is not there. So what they do is they make a one workflow.xml, and what they will do is they will make 10 properties. They will make 10 property files. So how it helps you out is you only have a variables in workflow, and whatever you want to assign a value to those variables are there in 10 property files. So each of the property file will be associated with each of the pick job, and accordingly the variable values will be substituted and you will have only one workflow. Okay, so what I want to explain you with this example is it is not necessary that each of the job will have a separate workflow. It is possible that the workflow is the same. It is possible that workflow is the same. There is only a single workflow, but there are 10 different property files for 10 pick jobs so that it can specify different things as required in a variables. Okay. So this is about what we'll be studying today: workflow, coordinators, bundles, and properties. Okay. After this, uh, I will give you the job status. What are the job status that are possible? Once we submit the job, what are the job status it will go? Be it a coordinator, workflow, or bundle, it is still the same. PREP means it is in the preparation state. Running, that means the job is running. Prep suspended, PREP suspended. Prep suspended means it was suspended in prep status. So if you suspend a job in prep status, it will go in prep suspended. Prep is preparation. Running means running. Running meaning running, the job is running. Suspended. Suspended meaning if you suspend a job in running status. So when the job was running, what you did was you suspended a job. Then prep paused. Can anyone say what does a prep pause mean? Can anyone say what does a prep pause mean? Any guesses?
Both we are keeping in a pause stage.
Yeah, pause when it was in preparation state, right? Okay. What do you mean by pause state? PAUSED?
While running, we are keeping the pause stage.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So when you do a pause in running. So if it was running and you do a pause, it will go into a pause state. What if you do a kill? If you kill a job, then it will go in kill state, right? If you kill a job, it will show in kill a job. If you do a kill a job, it will be going into a kill state. Okay. So these are the basic statuses so that if you see a status of a job that is prep, it means it is in a preparation state. If you see a job running, that means it is in a running state. Prep suspended means suspended in prep. Suspended, prep paused, paused, and kill. Okay. So that's it for the theory point of view. We'll be starting with the practical. So you can start up the
Harish,
virtual machine. Yes.
Harish.
Yes.
Where we can see all these status actually.
Once we do the practical, we can see it. This can be seen either from the command line as well, or you can also see from the web application. We'll be seeing both of the things when we do practical. Okay, so from theory point of view, there is nothing much, but a lot from when we do a practicals. So what you can do is you can go to the Google Drive.
Yeah, Harish, today it is not working under this VM. I don't know what is the reason. Yesterday it was working fine without any changes, and today it's not working.
Okay, what is the error that you are getting?
It's like still not accessible, something like that. When I do Google.com, like,
Oh, Drive, Google Drive is not accessible, is it?
I mean to say, internet is not working inside my VM, so that to download the files.
Even Google is not working, nothing is working, is it?
Google also not working.
Maybe after the class, now you pay attention in the class, then after the class, what you can do is you can go to the setting, maybe some setting was changed by mistake, and setting network, and maybe if you have previous screenshot, you can verify. I've kept it as a bridge adapter and dual band wireless, host only adapter, and a virtual box. The third one is NAT. So for me also I get this issue, so I have started everything, in fact, bridge adapter, host only adapter, and an NAT. So maybe you can see should be some issue over here, or else
Okay.
did you update this particular application?
No, no, no. It was very yesterday all good actually. And it
Okay,
changed and
okay,
around. Yeah.
because if you update this particular VirtualBox application, then it also creates some issue. Okay,
True,
never
true, true.
mind. So okay. What you can do is I will take this opportunity to show you something else also. What you can also do is you can download this into a Google Drive, into a Windows machine. You can download these two into a Windows machine.
Okay.
Just download these two into a Windows machine. Then there is a software later on you can do it, not now because it will consume a lot of time for class. So what you can do is later on just try to explore this particular software FileZilla. There is some software
Okay.
called as a FileZilla. So you can download this FileZilla, FileZilla. It is a free FTP solution. So once you download this FileZilla, you can download it FileZilla client. And once you have downloaded this FileZilla and once you have installed FileZilla, what you can do is just start this FileZilla. Just start this FileZilla. You have to start the FileZilla application. So this is the FileZilla application that it starts, and what you can do is you can start the FileZilla application. Then you will see something over here, host IP address. Host IP address, you can go get it from the VM by writing ifconfig. Instead of ipconfig, you can get it ifconfig. You get this IP address over here, 192.168.1.16. So you write this IP address 192.168.1.16. Username is Cloudera, password is Cloudera. Port I think so for FTP is 22. Don't remember well. Yeah, SFTP is 22. Keys are not exchanged, so it gives me error. So what happens is this side is my Windows and this side is my Cloudera VM. So whatever I want to move from the Windows, I can just select it, drag it, and drop it. So this is my Cloudera folder, Flume folder, and so on. So whatever I want to move from here, let's say from C drive, I want to move this. So I just take it and drag and drop it over here. So it will go into
Okay.
my virtual machine. So just remember port number is 22. Username password is Cloudera, and FTP address is 192.168.1. Whatever you get it from your ifconfig. Moreover, after the class, I will take this opportunity to share this software installable as well as the document with you how to use it, how to move the
Okay.
data. Okay.
Okay.
For others, I hope you can download into your Cloudera virtual machine. So whatever I have shared in a Google Drive, can you download into a folder by name Oozie, OOZIE, date is 18/06/24. Make a folder with name Oozie 18/06/24 and download it inside it. So basically you will, once you download from internet, you will get these two things. Have you guys downloaded? If downloaded, just double click on it and just extract it. Double click on it and extract it. You should see some folder like this, examples. Can you come till here? Others, can you come till here and let me know? Muni, are you practicing today? Muni, Rahul may not be able to do it. Muni,
Yeah, I'm doing.
sorry.
I'm doing it.
Okay, so once you have reached, let me know, Srinivas. If you are also practicing, let me know. We'll wait for another 2-3 minutes. Okay, so these are the steps wherein all the steps are written inside a command document. All the steps are written in it. So you'll be following one by one these steps. You can also follow me while we are practicing it. First of all, since you have stored it inside Oozie folder, OOZIA, I assume the folder name is small OOZIA. If it is not a small o, make it small o because all my commands are as per small o. So it should not be a capital O, something like this. It should be a small o, OOZIA. Okay, moreover, my folder name that I have given is 24, today's date. So it shows a date as 23. So what I can do is I can replace these dates, go into search, then replace, and I just replace it 23 by 24. So help me out to replace the date because my folder name is today's date 24, and just save it. So these are the commands that I will be executing today during the practical part. Okay, uh, we'll be starting with a command prompt. We started a command prompt by clicking over here, and to check whether the Oozie is working or not, the command is given over here. You can just copy paste it. Command is service Oozie status. So if I do a service Oozie status, it means the Oozie is currently running. So I can use the Oozie, just check before it is running or not. Okay. The second thing, we have checked whether it is running or not. We find that it is running already. The second thing, it says that unzip or untar or extract the examples.tar.gz and save the examples folder shared in a Google Drive at path home Cloudera Oozie 180624 that you have already done. Now this folder's example folder, I also need to move it into a Hadoop system. I need to move into a Hadoop. So what I need to do is I need to move this folder into Hadoop at the location user Cloudera example. So to move the folder into the Hadoop HDFS file system, these are the commands to move it. First thing is cd oz 180624. That means you have changed your working directory to this. Now this is my present working directory. You can see over here Oozie 180624. Now what I need to do is I need to put this using into HDFS. So the command is HDFS DFS hyphen put file examples backslash. So this is how you can put it. You want to put these examples into Hadoop. So this is the command. Can you execute for me? Can you execute this command? HDFS DFS put -f examples. The third one. So are you able to execute this command? HDFS DFS put -f examples. Once you execute this third command, the data will move into Hadoop, a distributed file system. It will move into HDFS. Okay, so just to verify whether the data has reached HDFS or not, you can go into Hue. You have moved it into user Cloudera example. So go into a file browser. This is a file browser. In small, it looks like manage HDFS. Go into a file browser. Then you should see a folder in slash user Cloudera with the name examples. So you should see a folder over here, examples name. Can you see this folder, examples? So are you with me till step number 3?
Yes.
Okay, so you can see example folders, is it? Muni, are you also practicing? Muni, are you also practicing with us?
Yeah,
Have you reached till here?
I'm just checking.
Okay. Once you are done, let me know. So we'll start back. So till now, what we have done is we have reached till step number 3.
This one actually we can copy and paste also, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay. We're
But
just
in
moving the whole folder to that
yes.
location.
On the right hand side, you will have an option to upload. If you make it big, you can also do it by this way: upload files, and you can also upload this from here. If you can upload from a command line, or you can directly upload from the upload command over here. Okay, so have you reached till here, Muni? Once you reach, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay, so assume you have reached till examples by uploading it. If you have not reached, just try to reach till here. Just try to upload these examples. Either you can do it by this way, by doing into CD, going into this folder, and finally doing HDFS, DFS, or you can also do it by clicking on upload files, and you can just drag and drop over here. Okay, so I assume you have reached till step number 3. If you face any difficulty, let me know. Okay, now we'll go into step number 4. What we'll be doing is first we'll practice one example of how to make a map reduce job and schedule how to schedule a map reduce job. We'll see how to schedule a scoop job. We'll see how to schedule a hive job. And finally, we'll see how to use a coordinator. So first we'll start with map reduce job. This is the path home Cloudera Oozie examples apps map reduce. So I have to go into examples apps map reduce. So once I click into examples, then I have to click into apps, then I have to click into map reduce. So I am into a map reduce folder. The hierarchy that I have followed is examples, the folder, then examples, then apps, then map reduce. No need to open, just I will be explaining few things. These are the two things that I was saying you, job.properties and workflow.xml. These are the two things that we need to program. That's it. So first we'll see job.properties, what it looks like. As I said, job.properties will be used to replace the name of the variable by some meaningful name. So like name node, what I have given is this is the address of name node. It says job tracker. Job tracker is it this node. If you remember the previous classes, job tracker and task tracker was in Hadoop 1.x. This is Hadoop 2.x. That means you don't have a job tracker and a task tracker. Over here you have a resource manager, application manager, and node manager. So there is nothing but a resource manager address, but they have still not changed the name in case of Oozie. Maybe they have to change a lot of codings in behind the scenes. So they have still kept the name same as the job tracker. But just for your info, job tracker was in Hadoop 1.x. Over here, though I have written a job tracker, it is the address of a resource manager. Queue name is a default. Example roots. My folder name is examples. My application, what is the application path? The application path is name node. You can see name node over here. Name node is nothing but the value is coming from this one, name node. Inside name node, users. Inside that, username is Cloudera, username is Cloudera, it will auto get Cloudera. Examples, the folder name is examples. Inside apps, map reduce workflow.xml. So this is the entire path where the workflow.xml file is located. So you require two files for running it. One is the job.properties file. One is the job.properties file and workflow.xml file. The job.properties file should be in your Linux operating system. If your Hadoop is on Linux, it will be on your Linux operating system. And the workflow.xml file will be in your HDFS, in your Hadoop system. So we have already uploaded into a Hadoop system as well. So workflow.xml is not picked from over here. Workflow.xml will be picked from the Hadoop file system. Let me show where the Hadoop file system workflow.xml will be picked. You can, it is there in Hue. Then once Hue opens, I will go into file browser. Then after file browser, I am already into user Cloudera. I will go into examples. Whatever is the path, I will go there. You can see examples, then the apps, example, apps, MapReduce, workflow.xml. Whatever path you are given over here, I need to go over here. Examples, apps, then MapReduce, then workflow.xml. This is the workflow.xml over here. So the workflow.xml file will come from a Hadoop distributed file system. It will come from a HDFS. You can see the workflow.xml that you have already put using a put command. This is the workflow.xml. Whereas the job.property file will be coming from your Linux operating system. So this is my job.property file. Job.property file is actually very simple. This hash part is all this thing is commented one. Just ignore this commented part, not required. Just look into this. This is the name node address. This is the job tracker address. The name node address has changed multiple times, so I updated it multiple times. Job tracker address is this one. Port number is 8032. Queue name is the default. In real, you can have different queues. The folder name is examples. The folder name is examples. It will be replaced over here examples. And this is the path. Below is the path of HDFS where we need to have a workflow. So our workflow will be over here. It will be in the HDFS, user, Cloudera, example, apps, MapReduce, workflow.xml, and output directory is MapReduce. So you can already see this is present over here. User, Cloudera, examples, app, MapReduce, workflow.xml. If you are having a different path, if you put in a different path, so make sure you are changing a property file accordingly. If you are putting a workflow.xml at different place, you are giving a correct part of workflow.xml. So this is how the job properties looks like. After looking into job property, I will see how the workflow.xml looks like. So this is the workflow.xml that I have already imported into HDFS. You have also done it using a put command. So this is the workflow.xml. It indicates the tag, start and end of a tag. The action name I have given that it says that start with raw data processing. If you are having a multiple thing, you will say start with pig, then go to hive and so on. So it says that start with raw data processing. Then inside that it says that it is a MapReduce program. Then it says that job tracker, actually the value of the job tracker as well as name node, whatever you can see the value of a job tracker and name node, it is coming from job.properties file. You can see the name node value. You can see the job tracker value. So what we say that properties is nothing but just giving the value to the variables. So this variables value will be coming over here. Job tracker, name node, and what is a prepare part? As we saw that it consists of the two parts. If you remember, prepare, then finally it will run. So in preparation, what it will do is in preparation, it is deleting a particular path. It is deleting this path. It is deleting name node, user, Cloudera, example, output data, and output directory. So what it does in preparation mode, you are deleting a particular path. That is the previous output, you are just deleting it. Okay. Then you see that the queue name is again coming from a property file. We had given a queue name as a default. You can see over here that we had given a queue name as a default over here. So queue name is coming from here. Then we are seeing that we are using a map reduce and the mapper class is over here. The mapper class is org. So we are using a map reduce program for which this is my reducer and this is my mapper. This is my sample mapper and a sample reducer. So whatever mapper program you will write, you will give the path of the mapper program over here. So this is the mapper program. This is a reducer program. Whatever reducer program you are writing, you will give a path of that particular, you'll give the name of that reducer program over here. You are saying that there is only one map task. Okay, then you are saying that input directory is this one, user Cloudera example input data and text, and the output directory is this one, user Cloudera example output data and output directory was my mapred. So this is my input directory and output directory I have specified over here. This is over here the error handling. If it is okay, then it will go into end and end the application. If anytime the error encounters, what it will do is it will fail it and it will give the details of that particular error. What is the error that has come? It will give you in the logs. Okay. So anyone, any doubts in this workflow.xml and job.properties? I will just quickly.
Harish,
Yes, yes, yes. Say.
so workflow fully we need to be right, or else administrator will take care of it.
Most of the places the administrator will take care. Okay, they what they will do is they will design using the graphical interface using the internet browser. I will show you how they design. What they do is they start this internet browser. Then they will go into Hue. After going into Hue, they will go into workflow.xml and they will go into editors and they will go into workflow. Once they go into workflow, then what they will do is they will create it. Once they click on the create, these are the different thing what they can just drag and drop over here, what they want to do, stream. So whatever they want to do, they just, and they just write what is a mapper class and what is a reducer class. Again, something like this. And again, they want to add some other task like Spark program. So they will just drag and drop over here Spark program and mention the details for that Spark or if you want Java program, Scoop program, MapReduce program, you want to make a sub workflow, shell program, SSH, all these things, they want an email notification to be generated. So what they will be doing is they will just make a drag and drop over here and finally generate one diagram that I showed you some time back. Start workflow diagram, start, pig, hive. So once they generate this diagram, the workflow.xml is automatically generated. But then once they generate it, then what they do is they will take this workflow.xml and they will just email to you. Then they will ask you to verify whether it is correct or not. And once you verify, you say it is all okay, then they will start the job or they will schedule the job. Something like that. Again, it depends from organization to organization. If it is a small organization, there are not many administrators, so maybe developer needs to do this as well. But in some organization, you just get the workflow.xml and you just need to verify whether it is correct or wrong. Okay, hope is it clear?
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so anyone, any other doubts? Okay, so no doubt. So let us conclude one more time. Name node is this value, whatever is there. Job tracker is this value. Default queue. This is a folder name example, so it will be replaced over here. And whenever I write examples root, it will be replaced by this value examples. This is the path at which my workflow.xml is located. So this is the entire path in my HDFS. And output directory is map reduce. So wherever there is output directory mentioned, it will be replaced by map reduce. I also showed you XML over here. I tried to explain you the XML path. This is all commented path. Then the name, it will start with the raw data processing. It will come over here. Job tracker, whatever value you have given in the properties file, it will take from there. It will take this. As a part of a prepare step, what it is doing is doing a delete. You can have anything over here. Queue name, it will take from a property file and give a default. You can have a different queues in a real production world. Over here, you are giving a mapper program and a reducer program. What is your mapper program and a reducer program? And how many map task is there? One map task is there. What is your input directory? What is your output directory? Your input directory is in Hadoop, user, Cloudera, example, input data text, and user, example, output data text, and so on. And when it is successful, it will go into end. Whenever it is failure, it will go into fail over here, and it will display the log. If anyone any doubts, let me know, or else we go ahead. Okay, the path was example input data. So my input data comes from here, output data comes from here, and the MapReduce program is from here, source.org.apache.oozie.example. And here are the different programs, sample mapper.java and sample reducer.java. The programs is coming from here. Okay, so all these programs are here. It looks something like this. This is the structure. Input data is coming from a input data, example input data. Then I think so it was from text, if I remember well, and it was data.text. Maybe this is the input data. This is the input data, and my output data was in examples. These all input path, output path we have written in the workflow.xml. Output data was in output data. Then I think so inside map reduce, and inside this was part 000 whatever success. So whatever is the output that is coming over here. So this is my output data. So what I will do is, just to show you, what I will do is inside the map radius, I will delete these things just to be sure that I have deleted this, and whenever I run this, the data will be generated. If the job is successful, if the scoop job is successful, some output will be generated over here. So I think so properties and workflow.xml is clear. Even if it is still not clear, just ignore it because we'll be doing more programs for Scoop and Hive. So I will be repeating it again and again. Okay, so what we see job.properties, it has all the variables for which we need to specify the values. Then to run a Oozie job, to submit a Oozie job, this is the command. I just copy the command from here and I open the command line and I will just paste this particular command. So what it says is the Oozie job. This is where the Oozie is located. This is the address localhost 1100. Configuration file is over here. Whatever is the file name job properties over here. And what instruction I am doing is I am giving it an instruction called as a run. So what I have done is, I think so I copied it wrongly. I copied the entire thing. I will copy it again and paste it. I think so. The job is submitted by its own. Oh, the job is already submitted. Okay, this is the job number that is submitted. You can see the job number that is submitted over here. Control C. So what I will do is I will replace the job number. You can see something, a job number is submitted over here. At the end, if you see, there is a workflow, W meaning it is a workflow job. W meaning it is a workflow job. So let us see the command again. It is a Oozie job. Oozie, what is the address of Oozie? Localhost 11000 Oozie. Okay, this is the address of the Oozie. Which port number Oozie is running? I have given the address. Very clear. Then I have given a configuration file. Where is the job.properties exist? Where is the property file exist? Inside the property file, it is the workflow file path is also there inside a property file. So I have given a location of a job.properties. It is inside home, Cloudera, Oozie 180624, examples, apps, MapReduce, job.properties. And what I am doing is I am saying it to run. So when I say it to run, a job is submitted automatically. The You can see that over here it is W means it is a workflow. Okay. If you want to see this Oozie address, what you can do is you can just open this internet browser, and what you can do is you can just click on Oozie. There is a bookmark given over here, Oozie. If you click on this Oozie, you can see that the address is port number is 11000. So Oozie comes. You can see that one of the job is running over here. So someone was asking me where you can see the status of the job. So you can see the status over here that the job is running over here. You can see the job is running. Okay. So you can see the job is running over here. You can also see the job status by writing the command. You can see the job status by writing the command status. I think. Okay, let me show you how you can see the job status from the command line also. Because as a developer, you may not have the access to the Internet Explorer kind of thing. So what you can do is instead of log, what I can say is instead of log, what I will do is I will write status. It says it's unrecognized command. First thing is the job name is incorrect. I should give the correct job name. And it is giving me unrecognized command. Let me see in Oozie help job. Is it status or what? What is in for how to check the status? Oh, status, for status it is info, not status. So what I will do is instead of status, I will write info. It is not status, it is info. So if you see the info, it will give you the details about it. Now it is the job is already completed. The job is already completed. It is showing me succeeded. Since the job is already completed, now you can see it is succeeded. And you can see it was having three parts, start, actual job, and the end part. Okay. So to see the status, what I write over here is info. To see the status, I can write what I can write over here is info. Okay. Now if I see over here also, if I refresh it, you can see that instead of running jobs, it will be gone from the active jobs. I can see it in the all jobs. You can see that it is succeeded. Okay, this is a job that I had submitted today on 24 June at around 3:55. This is UTC time. It is not a local time. It is a UTC time that is showing over here. So it was a start, then a map reduce program, and the end program. So if you double click on it, what I did was I just double click on it. To see the details about it, I just double click on it. So it says that this was having the three parts: start, map reduce, and end. Similarly, you can have multiple things: start, pig, hive, map reduce, shell, finally end. You can have multiple things. You can see the job definition over here. Whatever was the workflow.xml that was used, you can see it over here. This is the configuration, whatever properties you had specified, the what is the name job properties you can see over here. Example root was example, you can see over here. To see the logs, to get the logs, you have to go into job log and click on the get logs. So you can see the logs over here. You can see the end is done, end is done over here. Okay, so you can see all the logs. If there is any error over here, you can see the error over here. The error will be displayed in the log. Finally, directed acyclic graph you can see by clicking on DAG. I don't know why it is taking long time to load. Okay, yeah, it is loaded. So start and raw data and end. If it is completed, it will be green. If it is still running, it shows using a yellow color. So this is a graph that it makes to show how the job processing went through. Okay. To see the output, where the output has gone, we know that the output was at user Cloudera. Examples, output data, map reduce, and you can see that it is the job was success. The job was run on, why it is showing me 23 June. It should show me the today's date, right? It is still showing me 23 June. Anyhow, it is completed before we had deleted this also before doing it. So you can see that the output is generated. Maybe it is set to some other time zone. Okay, so you can see that the job is completed and the output was generated over here. You can also get the log by logs. Usually you will not have the access to the browser or to the interactive things of Oozie. So if you want to get a log of it, if you are a developer, you should know by this command you can get a log. So whatever log you can see from the browser, you can also see from here. So if you want to see the what is the error, you can get it from the log over here. Okay, so this is the where from you can get the log. So you can get the log from the Windows. You can also get the log by using this command. You can also get the log by using this command, the log command. If you want any help for it, you can click on Oozie help job or you can write Oozie help. So it will give you all the options. Anyone, any doubts so far in scheduling a MapReduce job? Anyone, any doubts? Anyone who is running this with me and is able to run successfully? Srinivas or Muni, or facing any issues? Anyone, any doubts? Okay, I assume no one has a doubt. So what I will do is we'll go to the next job. We will go into a Hive job. Next, what we'll do is we'll go into a Hive job. We'll schedule a, oh sorry, we'll schedule a scoop job first. We'll schedule one scoop job. Then we'll do Hive later on. Okay, let's go for a scoop job. Scoop job, it is inside home, Cloudera, Oozie 180624, example, examples, apps, scoop. So I will close this map reduce. I will go into apps and over here inside apps, I will go into scoop. Okay, inside scoop, you find two files, job.properties and workflow.xml. So these are the two files that are required for me. I will go into job.properties file. No need to explain. It is exactly similar as the previous example. Nothing is different. Only thing is instead of MapReduce, I have changed it to Scoop. That's it. The address is the same. Queue name is the default. Examples. Use system library path is set to true. So job.properties, nothing to explain. It is the same. It is only the value of the variables and you have to give the value to those variables. To see the workflow.xml, you should see the workflow.xml from over here. Workflow.xml will be over here. Examples, apps. Then you go inside scoop. Then you go inside workflow.xml. And the workflow.xml is over here. These are the commented part. It says that start with a scoop node. You start with a scoop node. What is a job tracker? What is a name node? What is a preparation step? Preparation step is to delete the path and make a directory, delete a directory and make a directory. So in preparation, it will delete the previous directory and make a new directory. And what is a queue name? Queue name is a default. What is a command that will run? If you remember scoop, somehow it is an import command. You are importing this particular table TT. You are importing this particular table into this particular path, user example output data scoop. You don't have to worry. First, it anyhow deletes this path. It deletes this path and it creates the path. So first it will delete, then it will create, then it will import this thing. This is the properties file and the script file. This is required for the scoop configuration things like your user ID, your password, and so on. So for those things, you are having a properties file and a script file. It is required for a scoop job. If you remember, we were writing the user ID and password last time when we were practicing the scoop. If it is okay, then it goes to the end, and if it is failing, then it goes over here. So this is the workflow.xml. You just need to verify it. The administrator will make it most of the times using the interactive session. Okay, so this is the workflow.xml. Now what we'll do is we'll run this particular job. This is my command line. To run this particular job, this is the command. This is the command. To run this particular job, this is the command. So I will open a command prompt and I will write this command. So what this command says that execute a Oozie job and Oozie is at port 11000. My configuration file, that is the job.property file, is at home Cloudera Oozie 180624 example app scoop job.properties, and I want to run it. You can run it, rerun it, and so on. Many options are there. You can suspend it, you can do info on it, and so on. So once you run it, you can see that this job is submitted. If I want to see the info of it, what I will do is I will copy the job name. If I want to see the status of it, I will write info and I will write the job name. So it gives you the info. This is the info of that particular job. It is started, it is running. You can see the job is running. Okay, let's say you want to kill a job. What you will do? You will do a kill. Okay, let's say you want to kill a job, you will do kill. If you want to suspend a job, you will write suspend. If the job is already killed, you want to rerun it, you will write rerun. All those options you can see by Oozie help. I want to do an info, so I can do info. I want to get a log of it. It is still running. I want to get a log of it. I can write log. I want to kill the particular job. I can write kill. If I want to kill a job, I can also write kill. K-I-L-L, kill. So if I kill a job, it will get killed. So you can explore different options. What are the different options? You can get the different option by writing Oozie help. So whenever you practice this thing, you try and use most of the options that are available over here. Like I have tried kill and so on. You can try different options. You can try rerun. You can try resume. If you have paused a job, you pause a job, you resume a job, and so on. You can try all the different options, at least some few basic options you can try. What the job that I had submitted, I can also see it in my Oozie. Now it should be not in active job. I have already killed. You can see it is killed. So you can see it was okay and it was killed. You can see the job definition properties over here. You can see the job log over here also by clicking the get log. You can see the logs over here. Whatever logs were generated will be over here. You can see that it was killed. The job was killed. And you can also see the graph how it was executed. Okay, so start and it went into scoop. It went into over here. When the scoop node was running, what you did was you ended a job. You killed this job. So this job got killed. Okay, similarly, if I want to submit this job again, I can also submit this job again. I can submit a new job. I will run this job. If I wanted to make this job again a rerun, I can also do a rerun on it. If it is killed, I can also do a rerun. Now what I have done is I have submitted a new job. And once I have submitted a new job, I can see that particular new job over here. Active jobs, and you can see it is running. You can see that job is running. Okay, anyone, any doubts till now? Anyone having any doubts till now? Anyone?
Harish,
Yeah.
initially, while uploading that example, it's allowing only one file while file upload. It's not allowing like there is folder, right? Folder contain multiple files.
Then you try this command. Put this one. HDFS put
Put,
and specify that it is a file F. Then it will upload
okay.
everything.
Yeah, okay, I will do it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone? Any other doubts till now? So the job is still running. Uh, Once the job gets completed, you can see the output also. Once the job is completed, the job is still running. Once the job is completed, what will happen is you will get the output somewhere over here in examples. Whatever I have given the output part, it is examples output data. Over here, one folder should be created scoop. One folder should get created over here by name scoop. And once the job gets completed, you should get some data over here. Whatever data it has uploaded, it should come over here. It is still uploading. The job is still running.
So this status and all you can see at uh, browser you're showing, right? How to get inside to the browser?
Browser, we just
Instead of
clicked on this one Oozie.
okay.
We just clicked on this Oozie, or else you can write localhost colon 11000, or you can write quickstart.cloudera 11000. You can also see the status using the info command in the command line. So you can also see the status over here by writing the info command using info and the job name. Info followed by job name and enter. What happened? Give some error.
I think that Hue, Hadoop, all
So
things
it
have
succeeded.
uh,
Sorry, come again.
nothing. I got it.
Okay. So the job is completed, successful. Now you can see in DAG everything should be in green. And I think so you should also be able to see the output data by now. Why it is not showing us the output data? Now it is showing the output data. Then you can go into scoop, then it is success. I don't know, it is showing some other time, it is showing 9:13. Maybe it is set to some other time zone. You can see it is success, and part M, you can see that whatever data is fetched from using scoop 1A, 2A, 3A, this is basically the data that is fetched from the MySQL. So this is the data that should appear over here. Okay, anyone, any doubts in a scoop job? If no doubts, then you help me explain what is a Hive job. First, I have to go to this path. What is first? Then I will go into job.properties and workflow.xml, and I will look into what is job.properties and workflow.xml. Let us go quickly into the Hive one. Once you are done, probably if you want to explore more things, you can also explore on Shell, Javas, anything you want to explore. Now you will explain me how Hive works. So for Hive to work, you will first see the job.properties. What is the use of job.properties? Anyone, what is the use of job.properties?
Basically, it stores the variable
All
of
the
related job.
values to the variable, right?
Yes,
Second thing, it also specifies where is the workflow.xml, right? Application path,
exactly.
right? So it gives the value to the variables. Also, it specifies the application path. Where is the application path? Basically, where it will find the workflow.xml in HDFS. Okay. So this is about job.properties, and then I will go into workflow.xml. Workflow.xml, I can get into examples. Then I should go into apps. Then I should go into Hive. All this code is actually provided by Cloudera only. All these codes are provided by Cloudera. Okay, so I will go into workflow.xml. Okay, so workflow.xml gives nothing but a flow, usually done by administrator using a graphical user interface. And finally, they make the graph this thing and share it with you to verify. It says that you start with a Hive node, so you will start from here. It says that job tracker. What is the name of the job tracker? Address of a job tracker. Then what is the steps that it do for a preparation? First, it deletes the previous data. It deletes the Hive folder and it creates a new one. This is the job queue. Okay, and then it is running a script.q. Can you see the script.q? So the Hive code is written inside script.q. It says that my input data is over here, input path is over here, and my output path is over here. Input data is input data tables and output data Hive. And the code is written in script.q. If it is successful, it will go into end, and if it has failed, it will go over here. This is how the error handling is done. Okay. Anyone, any doubts? Let me know. If no doubts, we'll look into script.q, then we'll run the data and see input data and output data. So we'll see first script.q, what exactly the script is doing. All my sources are there in example source. You go into example, then I will go into source, org, Apache. I should have my code over here, Oozie, and example, then there should be something script.q. Oh, is it some other path for script.q? Let me see the workflow.xml again. Or let me just simply find script.q. Where is the script.q? I cannot find script.q. let us look into workflow.xml again. Oh, script.q is located over here only. Workflow.xml, there is a script.q is over here only. Because there is no path specified over here, we have just written a script.q. That means it will take from the same place. So the script.q is written over here only. Also, the script.q is over here. Let us see where is the input path. Input data is coming from example input data table, and output data will go into output data hive. Input data table and output data hive. So input path and output path is over here. So first I will see what the script.q is doing. Anyhow, we are not learning hive now. Hive, you already know everything. Hive we have already covered. So I'm not explaining you hive, but just for basic thing, you should understand what it is doing. For what it is doing is it is first creating a table with only one field a.int. Then it is inserting a value 1 into it. So it is creating a table in an input path. Then it is inserting a value 1 into it. And finally, it is creating the same table in output path as well. So create a table into input path, put a value 1, and create a table into output path. So this is my program, what my program is doing. So it is creating one table into the input path. So there is no table over here currently. There is no table over here. So it will create one table into an input path. And finally, it will also create a table into output path in this particular directory in Hive. And the value should be 1 because we are inserting a value as 1. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just run this job. To run this particular job, the command is over here. The main objective is not to explain you the Hive, but just to show that the job is completed successfully and everything is executed. The job name is over here. You can see info, you can kill the job from here, you can see the log of it and so on from here as well. You can also see from the browser by clicking on Oozie, by clicking over here Oozie, or by going into a node 11000. And once you go into this, you will see in active job it is running. Once it is done in the active jobs, it will go into the completed jobs. It will come over here. You can also see it in all jobs as well, or you can also make a customized field. You can change it, you can make a custom filter, and you can get a list of all the killed jobs, all the paused jobs and so on, or suspended jobs and so on. So my job is still running. Let it run. Once it is completed, then we'll see the output, and after that we'll go into coordinator. Anyone, any doubts till now?
No.
Okay. Okay, it is still running. Let us wait for some time. Let the job complete. Anyone who is practicing with us is facing any difficulty, let me know. W stands for it is a workflow job. is still running. Let us wait for some time. Let us wait till it completes. Let us see. We can double click on it to get more details of it. We can go into DAG so to see a graphical way where it has reached. The Hive job is running. We can see it graphically. So yellow means it is running. Black means yet to be executed. Red means it is aborted. Green means it is completed. So meanwhile, this job is still running. I can also show you uh, you can also see this from Hue. You can see all these things from Hue as well. You can see all these things from Hue as well. You can go into Hue and you can go into workflow. And editor is for making the jobs that will be done usually by administrator. And dashboard, you can also see your jobs over here by going into workflow, dashboard, and workflows. You can see the job is still running. So this is how those people will be monitoring, and the administrator people, if you ask them to suspend it, they will click over here, or they will kill. You ask them to kill, they will click over here, or you ask them to resume, they will just click over here. So this is like the job of a administrator. If you are a developer, then of course this command line you should know. If you are an administrator, you can only know this much. It's still okay. So you can also see the job from here. This is actually the interface what administrator use, how much time it used. You can also define SLAs. If it exceeds the SLA, then the email can be triggered and so on and so forth. Those things will not go. That is a job of administrator, purely administrative job. We are only doing whatever is the basic required for a developer, whatever is required for developer. Okay, so this is how it looks.
I think it is good thing.
Yes, yes, yeah.
This tool is the first percentage also. So
Uh,
that is,
yeah, percentage you are saying?
yeah, this is good actually. We
Yeah,
can know, we
right,
see the, how much it has completed in the terms of running or something like that.
right. Now we can see that it is already succeeded. It is completed. Okay. I also wanted to show you something. You can also see this job status by clicking on Hadoop and by clicking on Resource Manager. It should also show you over here by clicking on Hadoop and Resource Manager. Somewhere over here you can see this job. This is the job that was running. Insert override directory. Whatever that job was doing, insert into the table doing one, and all those things. What that job was doing, you can also see from here by clicking into Hadoop and by clicking into the resource manager. So my command was insert into the table, and this was finished successfully. So all these things are logged over here. Okay, so my job is completed. Actually, this is all job of an administrator. Just for your basic, you should know. Okay, so you can see that in input data in table, one table should be created, and the data that was inserted was one. You should see one over here. One was inserted because my program was written to insert a numeric value one inside it. And you can also see it in the output data and Hive. Output data and Hive, and You can also see 1 because I was also copying that particular table into the output data. So the job is successfully run, and here is the output. This is a simple query, Hive query. Okay, any doubts, let me know, or else we'll go to the last topic. This one we have done Hive job, Scoop job, all other jobs are also there in that example folder. You can practice other jobs as well if you require. Okay. Now using coordinator, what is a coordinator is, as I said while doing a theory before the break, if you want a job to be executed at a regular interval, or you want a job to be executed every day at 10 a.m., or you want it to be executed every day at 12 a.m., or you want a job that should start every day at 6 a.m. and it should run till midnight at 12 p.m. and it should run every 1 hour, something like this. Or you want a job that is a event triggered, that is whenever a data comes into particular folder, the job should be executed. You want it to be event triggered. So all these things can be done using a coordinator. All these things can be done using a coordinator. For coordinator, you need job.properties file. Workflow.xml is optional. Workflow.xml is optional. And you also need a coordinator.xml file. So basically you need two things for sure. One is property and one is coordinator. Workflow.xml is purely optional. Let us see job.properties, workflow.xml and coordinator. The path is at aggregator. It is inside the aggregator. So I will go inside aggregator first. Aggregator. Job.properties. Can you let me know what is job.properties for? Anyone, what is job.properties for?
Job dot properties contains the variables with the values, and also it shows like what is the workflow
Path of the workflow.
path of the workflow.
Okay, so since we are working with coordinator, instead of path of the workflow, it will be the coordinator path.
Right.
Okay, so instead of path of a workflow, you will mention a coordinator path, and if at all you want to mention a path of a workflow, the path of the workflow will be mentioned inside the coordinator. Okay, so if you want to mention a path of a workflow is purely optional, and if at all you want to mention it, you will mention it inside a coordinator. Rest everything is the same. This thing is everything is the same. Over here I am giving two more variables. One variable is start and other variable is end. What is the start time of that particular job and what is the end time of that particular job? Okay, so what I will do is I will schedule this job for today.
Harish, since you are telling that workflow.xml is optional, that means coordinator.xml is must.
Coordinator.xml is must because you are making a coordinator job now.
So when you have a workflow.xml also, how the configuration changes?
The workflow.xml file will be mentioned inside the coordinator.xml. Once we do
Oh,
coordinator.xml, I will show you.
okay.
Okay, so first what I will do is I will give the start time and end time. I will give the date. Today is, let me see what is the time, what is the UTC time now. Let me see what is the time now. You can also change the time configuration, but I prefer UTC only. UTC time, UTC time, what is the UTC time now? It's 4:32 and 24 June. This is the time now. So what I will do is I will say 0430. Let's say I want the job to start at 4:30 daily morning and it should run till 10:30 daily morning. Okay, so I want this job to start on 24th at 4:30 and I want this job to run till 10:30. Okay, so this job will start at 4:30 and it will run till 10:30. Let's say I want this job to run every 5 minutes or so. Okay, so I say that the job should start at 4:30 and it should run till 10:30. So I've changed the job.properties file, and then finally I will look into the coordinator.xml. I'll go inside the apps and aggregator. The coordinator.xml should be inside this. Coordinator.xml is over here. Job.property file comes from the Linux machine and the coordinator file comes from the Hadoop system. The coordinator file is again mostly the same like workflow.xml, only few differences. You can see that this job will be run every 5 minutes. You can change it and play with it, right? You can just change it to 60 minutes or hour or 1 day. You can just say that the job will start on 1st of January till 31st of January and it will run after 1 day, or maybe it will run only 7 days or something like that, or monthly once. So what I have written is I have written 5 minutes. After every 5 minutes the job will run. Time zone is UTC. As I said, you can also change the time zone, but I don't prefer to change it. You can also change it, but if you are working in a real production cluster, since it is at a single location, you will have your local time over here. Concurrency means how many jobs can run in parallel at the same time. One job and set it to multiple. So it will be starting at 4:30 till 10:30. Every 5 minutes a job will be submitted. It is also an event triggered job. This is my dataset path. This is my dataset path. There is a raw log, and what it will do is it will check for a raw log at every 5 minutes, and it will check for an aggregated log for every 1 hour. This I have not given it. This is the old time, so this is still the valid time because this time is already passed. So it will check this at every 5 minutes and it will check this aggregated log at every 1 minute. It is an advanced part, no need to worry much about it. Basics at least you understand. Every 5 minutes this will check, every 1 hour it will check this. It will check when it will be triggered. It will only be triggered whenever there is an input event. Input event, whenever a raw log comes, if this event is satisfied, so it will run every 5 minutes and only when the data comes in this particular raw log. Raw log path is this one. If the data comes in user Cloudera, example input data raw log, and at this part if the data comes, only it will run. So it will run every 5 minutes and the job will only go through if the data is present over here. Similarly, this job will run at every 1 hour and data will go through only if this particular event is satisfied. If this event is satisfied, so it is time triggered as well as event triggered. This is a very complex example. In production you will not have so complex example. In production you will either have a time triggered or a event triggered. That's it. Okay, so to explain you I am showing both. Event triggered, it is time triggered and event triggered. You can see that workflow is coded over here only. Whatever was the workflow path, whatever you do in the workflow is coded over here. The workflow code is over here. So it is up to you. It is purely optional. Either you can write the workflow code over here, or what you can do is you can write into a separate XML workflow.xml and you can give the reference to it. So it is purely optional, up to you, completely up to you. Either you can write the entire workflow.xml over here. You can write the workflow.xml over here, or you can make a workflow.xml as a separate file. You can make it as a separate file, workflow.xml, and you can give the details of that path in the coordinator itself. Okay, so is the coordinator clear to you? Is the coordinator clear? It will run every 5 minutes. It will start at 4:30. It will end at 10:30 today. It is also event triggered. It will check for a raw data at every 5 minutes. It will also check for aggregated log every 1 hour because I have given it as a 1 hour. The input data is over here. This is my output event. And workflow.xml purely up to me whether I want to code it over here or I want to write it as a separate workflow.xml and give the path. Is it clear? Anyone having any doubts? Anyone having any doubts so far? Okay, so if no doubts, we'll just run this example. We'll run this example. Okay, so to run this example, this is the command from here. This is the command. The command is the same. The command is the same, no changes. So it is only the properties file that say whether it is a coordinator job or a workflow job. So I will run this command. So you can see this job is submitted. Can you see C over here? C. Previously it was W. Now it is C. C meaning it is a coordinator job. Okay, I can just copy it. I can see the status also from here, as you already know. You can see the status over here by writing info and the job name. So it says that so many jobs are scheduled. You can see that it is waiting. The job is scheduled at every 5 minutes. You can see over here. The job is at 4:30, 4:35, 4:40, 4:45 and so on. All the jobs are waiting. It is still waiting. Reason being it is waiting for some input data, right? You can also see the status by using the info command. If you want to kill the job, you can kill the job using a kill command. Okay, let us see the job from the more interactive way from a Oozie console. Sometimes you also have access to this depending on organization to organization. Sometimes you also have access to this, but this access definitely not. This is only to the administrator. Sometimes you have this access, sometimes you don't also have. It depends on organization. I see into the coordinator job. I click on a coordinator job and I see this job is a running job. Okay, the job is running. It is scheduled at a frequency of 5 minutes and the job started at 4:30 and next materialization will take at 5:30. What needs to be done? So 4:30 to 5:30 is already scheduled over here. Every 5 minutes, 60 minutes meaning 12 jobs. These are the 12 jobs, first, second to 12. It is showing waiting, reason being it is waiting for the event to happen. It is waiting for the particular event to happen. So you can get the workflows from here if you want to get the workflows. If you want to get the log from here, you can click on log and get it. These are the jobs. All the jobs are waiting for an event to happen. I will show you the input data, how the event will happen. So if you want that job to run, what you need to go into input data, you need to go into raw data. There is one folder created over here. So whenever a data comes inside this, then the job will be triggered. So it basically waits for the raw data and the aggregate data to come. Or raw data, it will check every 5 minutes. Any raw data is coming, raw log is coming, or aggregate log is coming. So event whenever a data is come over here, whenever Flume, let's say you are integrating Flume and this one. So what Flume will do is Apache Flume will get a log data and put inside a log file. And once the log data comes into a log file, then what the Oozie will do is it will be an event trigger. Whenever log comes into it, it will run the analysis job and so on. So this is how the entire big data or entire Hadoop works. So this is the last class of the part B, that is Hadoop advanced course. Anyone having any doubts till now? Anyone having any doubts till now? Okay, what I will do is I will just terminate this job. Never keep a job running. If you keep a job running, then if you submit a second job, it will not work if you submit the same job again. Also, if one job is running, the job will be very slow. So make sure you kill the job after you are done. Okay, so I'm done with today's session. Anyone having any doubt till now? Anyone having any doubts till now? Anyone, any doubts? If no doubts, module 1 we have already completed. Understand that few people have joined lately, so you can attend in the next batch starting from 14th of July. Module 2, I think so everyone has attended. If you want to re-attend, you can still attend. We have completed Flume, we have completed Hive, Scoop, hands-on. We had done some part of Impala, running the query, and we had done Apache Oozie. And in the module 3, what we will be running is Scala Essential, Introduction to Spark, Spark Programming, Spark SQL, Apache Kafka. Apache Kafka is nothing but similar to Flume. Spark Streaming, uh, then we'll be learning machine learning libraries, a basic of it, that's it. So this is the plan for the next module. We will not be having any class next weekend. You can take the opportunity of next weekend to study your part. You can take the opportunity of next weekend to study the things, study the part B, module 2, whatever you have studied so far, you can practice it. If you are having any doubts, you can post in a WhatsApp group. So we'll go through it. So this is the entire module 3. If you are having any doubts, let me know. Anyone, any doubts in module 3? Oh, sorry, module 2. Let me know. Or Uzi, at least any doubts. If no doubts, we'll start with the module 3 in the next class. Next batch is starting from 14th of July next month. Will be the evening time. So if you want to rejoin, you can rejoin in the next batch. And if you want to refer some friends, you can also pass me the reference, their mobile number, or you can pass my mobile number to them. My mobile number, if you want, my mobile number is this one. I will write over here, +919870319066. So you can WhatsApp me on this number.